Welcome to the Becoming Confident podcast, journey to building healthy self-esteem, the place where I initiate raw conversations on topics I believe contributes to and is impacted by self-esteem and confidence. If you are on a journey or you're ready to start your journey to becoming confident and you feel alone in the process, then this podcast is for you. I am your host, Cleopatra Williams, and I can't wait to support you in becoming your most confident self. This episode is sponsored by BetterHelp. It is the world's largest online therapy platform service. See, I know how important it is when you're on your becoming confident journey to prioritize your mental health. Back in April 2022 is when I started BetterHelp. I was falling apart and I was ready to just give up. However, I knew that giving up wasn't an option. What I absolutely love about BetterHelp is that I was able to choose a woman of color and someone who was faith-based. Both super important to me. They found me a licensed therapist within 24 hours, and I've been rocking with her ever since. Now, did I mention that it's 100% online? Yeah, we love that, right? So, if you are ready to make your mental health a priority on your becoming confident journey, BetterHelp is giving you 15% off your first month when you sign up using my link that will be placed in the show notes, and you can just enter my code Cleopatra Williams, or you can just go ahead to betterhelp.com/Cleopatra Williams. I hope this helps you guys. Welcome to the first episode of Becoming Confident podcast. In this episode, I will be discussing 3 things that pushed me to start my confidence journey. I definitely know that this journey was way long overdue. However, I am happy that I'm finally here. So let's get into it. The first reason, I allowed my self-esteem and my confidence issues to affect me starting a dance company that I've been planning to do for like 3 years. To give you some backstory, I've always wanted to dance. I always wanted to be a dancer. I always wanted to be a choreographer. And I always had this vision that I was going to do it. I had this vision that I wanted to open up a studio. But here's the catch. The thing is, I actually didn't have much experience. Growing up, I was just always so scared to put myself out there. I never asked my mom to put me in dance class. I never asked her to put me in after school. So I know that me wanting to open up a dance company is kind of far-fetched. But I had this vision, right? And I kept this vision to myself. And I know that the reason that I kept it to myself was because I was too scared what people was going to think of me. Like, who do you think you are? You have no dance experience. So now as an adult, me planning the business, those insecurities just kind of stayed there. It just kind of kept growing because I know that I didn't have the experience. But I had so much excitement because I was finally doing something that I've always wanted to do. I started actually planning this in 2019, but then 2020 hit and just a lot of things going on in my life. So I kind of got stuck in the planning phase with no real action. I was living in Virginia at that time, actually. And then I moved back to New York in 2021. I got my LLC, I got my trademark, thinking that I'm ready to go. And I just know that everything is going to just fall into place. I get to start my dance company. And I finally get to train. I was so excited, but what happened is that my excitement pretty much took a turn for the worse. Number one, the business, I realized that there was so much competition here that my unique, quote unquote, business idea didn't feel so unique anymore. So I started to doubt myself even more. Second, as I started to immerse myself into dance classes, I quickly learned that I'm not as skillful as I thought I was. Now, I know I mentioned that I didn't take dance classes when I was growing up. However, I had a vision. In my mind, I was thinking that dancing was just going to come naturally to me. I felt like I just had it in me. I just knew that it was something that I didn't have to practice, right? It was just going to come naturally to me. And over time, me realizing that I was not as skillful as I thought I was, making so many mistakes I started comparing myself to other dancers that was dancing for years. I just felt so embarrassed, and it really made me start falling apart, like within months. I just felt like my world was crashing down. My dream was crashing down. I started tearing myself apart. I would cry in class after class for small mistakes that I was making, crumbling like a little kid. I started being angry, with my child self, like regretting not putting myself out there, has so many regrets that I just knew that if I would have did things differently when I was younger, this would have turned out so much different. In my mind, I'm thinking if I would have just asked my mom, put me in dance class, like I will be so much more prepared. This business will be taken off. I wouldn't feel so like an imposter in this dance world. So I was really being hard on myself, and it really made me question my qualifications of being a dance studio owner. I lost the excitement to start my dance company. So I just decided to take a step back. I needed it for my mental health, just for my sanity. Now let's get into the second situation that pushed me to making this decision of becoming confident. I quit my job that I worked so hard to get with no backup plan. Now, when I first started this job, I was so happy about it because I was just proud of myself. I was able to transition into a different industry with a little experience. I had a lot of rejection trying to get in, but I didn't give up and I finally got it. Second reason why I was really happy is that they paid me good. It wasn't like this crazy amount, but I was able to double my income within a few months from my last job before that. And I was able for the first time to live in New York comfortably and be able to afford the rent on my own. And third, I was so excited about that I'm able to just work from home because it just gave me more time back. So I had all of these great reasons to why I was excited, but I would say about like within 2 months in, I started to feel myself getting into the cycle that I know oh so well. The cycle of saying, this job is not what I'm supposed to be doing. This job doesn't feel good. Like I don't feel good in it. So I tried to stick it out for the very reasons that I was so excited to get the job. But the thing is that I started struggling bad with anxiety. The anxiety that I was starting to feel was really starting to overpower the facts that I had bills to pay. I was showing up to work, right? I was showing up, but I was not doing the work I know that I'm capable of doing. There was no motivation. There was no motivation to do anything. I knew I was feeling unfulfilled. I knew that. And unfulfillment, if you feel this, you know that it eats at you. The thoughts that I was telling myself was like, oh, I'm a loser. How is it that I still have not found a purposeful career, right? Like I'm 30 years old. Why am I still struggling to find something that I love? And then telling myself, you know what? This is really as good as it's gonna get for me. All those things I was thinking, all of those things. I was feeling sick. I was feeling nauseous. Every time that I had to start working, I felt like I couldn't breathe at times. I was feeling burnt out. I was feeling burnt out and I wasn't even doing the amount of work that I know that I could be doing. I think the final push for me was I actually started having suicidal thoughts. And these were thoughts that I haven't felt in a long time. I never wanted to do that. So I just knew that I couldn't do it anymore. I couldn't keep being in a cycle of feeling unfulfilled. So I quit. And I know as a mom, if you're a mom and you're listening to this, you know that I probably sound crazy. You're probably looking at me like, oh, you crazy because, it can be really looked at as being irresponsible. And I'm not going to lie and say that maybe it was irresponsible, but I just had to put me first. I had to be responsible for me and for my health. And this was the first time in my life where I really felt that statement that money can't buy happiness. Like, we all know that. Right? You see it happen to other people that money can't buy happiness, but when you experience it, you really know that, oh my gosh, like, this money is not keeping me. The money is good. This is the most money I made my entire life, but I can't do this. I would literally rather be unemployed than feel the way that I was feeling. I wanted peace of mind more than anything. So I quit. So now here I am. I'm not launching the business that I've been planning for 3 years, and I'm jobless. Fabulous. And for the third reason to why I started this journey is that I really feel like I need to break this generational curse of low self-esteem and confidence. And I want to do this for my daughter and for future generations. And I knew that it had to start with me. You know, as a parent, you want your child to be better than you, to have more than you. I know for a fact that one of my biggest fears, aside from something bad ever happening to my child, was for her to struggle with confidence and low self-esteem issues, because I've struggled with it and I know how crippling it can be. I know how miserable it can be, sad it can be, lonely it can be, right? And I really feared passing it down to her. You know, self-esteem is something that you can unintentionally teach to other people, right? And my daughter's a preteen. You know, she's going to middle school next year. And I knew in my life that this age was around the time where, as long as I can remember, that I started to struggle with self-hate issues. I want to stop it before it even starts, you know? And if it has started, I want to stop it before it gets worse and be able to give her the tools and the resources that I've used to help me. So I'm relentless about becoming confident, becoming the best I can be, building my self-esteem up to be so high, so healthy, you know, so that I can teach her to do the same. I just want to build it up so much because there are external factors that play a huge part in self-esteem issues. And sometimes you can't control that. You can't control what messages you see on TV. That's going to be what it is. You can't control what, you know, somebody in your family is saying. You can't control what anybody is saying, but you can control what's going on in your mind. You can control what's coming out your mouth. And so I am crazy relentless, making a change in my life for this, making a change in my daughter's life, and making a change in your lives. I am so excited to announce that I am officially a Queen Warrior Ambassador. This lifestyle program, led by Fabiana Ferrarini, is all about helping women become a better version of themselves mentally and physically, and I absolutely love it. It has everything from fitness workouts, with Bar and Power being my absolute fave, to mindset coaching and nutrition plans. Ladies, you will not be disappointed. This program hosts live workouts, and they also have replays available for busy bees and moms like me that are on a tight schedule, and you can do it all in the comfort of your home. So if you are on your journey to confidence and building healthy self-esteem, and fitness is a huge part of that for you, I was set up with a special link just for you. You will get a 7-day free trial to the Queen Warrior program. If you want to take full advantage of this offer, head over to the show notes where I will attach the link, and I hope to see you guys in there. Where I'm at now, I started this journey almost a year ago. I can't believe it. It feels crazy. It feels weird. But it's just amazing to see how much I've grown so far as I'm recording this the past 9 months. I'm just so happy to say that I'm in such a better place mentally. This journey was not an easy journey. There's been lots of tears and lots of setbacks. However, I've learned so much about myself, and I still have so much to learn. And I'm so excited to continue because I am not giving up whatsoever. And just to give you some updates about where I'm at with all the things that triggered me to start this journey. Well, with the dance business, I decided to not launch it anymore. I don't know if I'm ever going to launch it, to be honest, but it is still very much incorporated. Part of me don't want to let it go because you never know. I still think about sharing my creativity and teaching my choreography at one point, because it is my childhood dream and you want to do something, at least one thing from your childhood dream. I probably would like to teach a class. I'm not perfect yet. My confidence isn't A1 when it comes to dance, so it's a process. I'm focusing now on just being a student, a beginner, and not rush. I know that a lot of my negative thoughts that was happening was coming from the fact that I felt like I started late, feeling so behind in life. And I really do think that that fear is something that creeps in when you turn 30. Like, it's weird. I never thought that I would have these feelings. I was always excited to turn 30, but once I started putting myself in an environment where there's people that are younger than me, then that's when the comparison kicked in. Like, oh my gosh, I'm so late to this, So I signed up for therapy right after leaving my job. I used BetterHelp and I absolutely love it. It was the best decision that I made in the beginning of this journey. I don't regret it one bit. That investment was well spent. It's so much that therapy has helped me with, learning how to reframe situations and mistakes and guilt. It helped me look at leaving my job in a more positive way, not feeling so irresponsible. There's so much that therapy has helped me with. And then with parenting and trying to teach my daughter the ropes, like, I'm still learning. This is a continuing journey. Parenting is a nonstop journey as well. I am loving teaching my daughter what I'm learning, getting her into journaling and affirmations, which is so much more to self-esteem than that. I just want to point that out. But I'm also realizing, she is younger, so she don't care as much to learn. She don't always want to write or anything like that. But I know how important it is to plant seeds. And that's what it's all about. Because at the end of the day, she might not care, but I'm going to keep putting the bug in her ear. And eventually one day it's going to click, and I'm okay with that. And as of finding something that I love to do, well, I love this. I've always loved speaking life into other women. I love trying to get other women the ones closest to me, to believe in themselves, to love themselves. I really feel at peace with this new journey of becoming confident and supporting women and becoming their most confident selves as well. What I am learning, I can't wait to share with you guys. This podcasting is new. We'll see how much I love this specific outlet, but I'm excited to learn. It's a high value skill. Learning a high value skill helps with increasing confidence. And I get to learn how to network. I get to learn how to build a community. I get to learn how to create something that I'm proud of. I get to talk about something that I'm so passionate about, and everything on my own terms. And I love it. So yeah, so these are things that are happening in my life. Those are the things that happen that sparked this journey. And I'm just so happy that those things took place. It was painful to go through, but it happened for a reason. This journey needed to happen because I couldn't keep going down the same path and doing the same things and expecting different results. As a disclaimer, I hope with anything that has been shared in this episode, no one takes anything personally. Please be compassionate and know that being vulnerable is not easy. If you are on a becoming confident journey or you're ready to start your journey, always remember that this is a journey, not a race. I know that we all want to get to the finish line, but it takes time and dedication. And if you don't stop, you will get there. Cheers to becoming your most confident self. Thank you so much for listening to Becoming Confident, Journey to Building Healthy Self-Esteem podcast with me, your host, Cleopatra Williams. If you want to be the first to know of new episode releases, of new resources, and get some weekly dose of inspiration, subscribe to my weekly newsletter. You can also find me on Instagram and TikTok, both at __Cleopatra __, and shoot me a DM. I would love to know your thoughts on this episode. While you're at it, go ahead and follow Becoming Confidence page at Becoming Confident Journey on Instagram. And lastly, tell a friend, sister, cousin, mother, someone who you think can relate to the show. I'm leaving all information in the show notes. Kindly support the show by subscribing on any platform you listen to and also rate and review on Apple Podcasts. And that is all for this episode. Until next time, okay? Bye.